Lamine Yamal?
Lamine Yamal, vrij voor de keeper en 2-0.
Ryan?
What's your name?
Ryan.
And in reality?
Ryan.
It doesn't matter. It's the same effect.
Barcelona, Rafinha with the pass, and it's another one. This time, Lamine Yamal.
The boy from Rocafonda has changed football forever.
Shaka. Lamine Yamal, best player in the world?
Yeah.
Should he get the Ballon d'Or?
Yes.
There we go.
At 17, he's the crown jewel of Barcelona. Left so many defenders on their backsides this season. But what is it about Lamine Yamal that makes him so special? Why does his skill set make him the most valuable player at the club right now? It's safe to say, in 2024-25, Lamine Yamal keeps proving with every game why he's arguably the best player in the world.
It's unbelievable because I think we've said 17 years old, 17 years old, 17 years old so many times that we become numb to the fact that he's 17 years old!
To be honest, but here's the crazy part. It's just one of the many stunning performances Lamine Yamal has dropped this season. And trust me, that list is long. Against Real Madrid in El Clasico, he was sensational. Similar angle, same result. Against Inter Milan, the same thing. Once he cuts onto that left foot, there's no stopping him. And if we've given you any impression to believe it's only on his left foot he's capable, apologies. You might want to skip this if you're a Real Madrid fan. You should get the idea by now. Lamine Yamal is unstoppable. But what exactly makes him so special to Barcelona? It's not just the skills, it's a club tradition.
I'm more than happy because Hansi Flick understood perfectly what is our treasure, our jewel, that is La Masia.
La Masia has always been Barcelona's heritage, the club's golden possession. You hear Joan Laporta talk about it here, and the academy is so big that it was one of the deciding factors in the club's decision to hire Hansi Flick as the head coach. To be fair, it comes with a very good reason too. La Masia is responsible for not just Barcelona, but some of the very best talents to play the game. The likes of Cesc Fabregas, Xavi Hernandez, Andreas Iniesta, Carlos Puyol, Sergio Busquets. All these guys, just to name a few. And of course, the greatest player to play the game, Lionel Messi. For years, it seemed like Messi would be the peak of La Masia's talent factory. Talents have come through the academy since that period, but none made quite the wave Messi did early on in his career. A man who even Ronaldinho described as his successor. But it all changed the day Xavi decided in 2023 to make history.
Well, another special moment, Carlos.
A lot of things.
2 years on from that, the feeling is still the same. Lamine Yamal is special. What makes him that special to La Masia then? It's the fact that at his age, no one, not even the club's greatest player of all time, Messi, was this good. Lionel Messi's numbers at 17? 9 games, 1 goal and 0 assists for Barcelona. Or perhaps you decide to include the other GOAT in the conversation, Cristiano Ronaldo. His numbers at 17? 19 games, 5 goals and 4 assists. Lamine Yamal at 17? 100 games, 22 goals and 33 assists and counting. Now, this isn't to start a comparison between any of the three, because that would be forced. But it just paints the picture of how groundbreaking what Lamine Yamal is doing. There has never been a 17-year-old who has changed the history of the sport like this, since probably Pelé. The crazy thing about all of this is Lamine Yamal doesn't even want the comparisons to start with.
Nadie mucho menos con Messi. Entonces, lo dejo a vosotros porque nosotros entre nosotros pensamos en mejorar cada día más nosotros mismos, en ser mejor que yo mismo al día siguiente.
According to him, that's for the media to start. He prefers doing what he's been doing all season, leaving teams struggling to understand what they're dealing with. To say he's good would be an understatement. And that's another reason why he's Barcelona's brightest talent. Why? Because he ticks every box. I mean, think about it. Lamine Yamal is miles ahead of his time. The end product? 7 games. These aren't just out-of-this-world numbers for a 17-year-old. These are actual numbers even some of the best wingers in the world would struggle to put up with this season. Facts. Lamine Yamal this season has produced better numbers than wingers like Bukayo Saka, Rafael Leao, and Luis Diaz, a class of his own. But the best part about Lamine Yamal?
When you put your eyeballs on the pitch and you actually watch a game, don't talk about statistics. I don't want to know about Y-Scott. I don't want to know about all these XGs. When I watch Lamine Yamal play, for me, he jumps off the page and he is very worthy of
stats. It's what he can do when he's with the ball at any given time that makes him incredible. The X factor. Taking on opponents twice his age, legend has it that Federico Di Marco had continued that first leg at the Louis Companies. After this, he would have needed a hair transplant right after. Lamine Yamal had one of Italy's finest struggling to keep up, or against Bayern Munich. He was dancing with that Bayern defense. Alphonso Davies is one of the best fullbacks or wingbacks in the world, and in that moment, the only thing Lamine Yamal had him doing was running backwards. This one was against Alaves. This one against Atletico Madrid. It's every match day a skill set that's unmatched, and lately, he's been treating world football to a trick move he's now got on lock. Lamine Yamal's Trivelas? You don't use stats to measure that, you simply enjoy it. Even when the numbers do come into play again, he's in a world of his own. Lamine Yamal has completed the most dribbles in European football's top 5 leagues this season with 133 as of recording this, which is a staggering 40 more than the guy in second place, Jeremy Doku. Against Inter Milan in the semi-final second leg, his 14 dribbles were just one shy of Neymar's record for the second most dribbles in a Champions League game. He did this against an Inter Milan team with a couple of defenders who were twice his age. The numbers, the stats, the performances, the eye test, they add up. Everything adds up with Lamine Yamal. It's almost as if Barcelona could see the future way before it even happened.
PSG have made a 200 million euro offer for Lamine Yamal. I thought it was 500 million. Are you sure you wrote that? I thought it was maybe 600 million euro for Lamine Yamal.
It seemed like a joke at the time, but in recent years, that report has been confirmed that PSG did make a big offer, over 200 million euros for Lamine Yamal. That's crazy money alone. Just 20 million euros off the world record fee they paid for Neymar in 2017 from Barcelona, and for Barca in particular. This showed just how highly the club rates Lamine Yamal. They didn't just reject the offer. PSG couldn't drop an improved bid. That conversation ended right there. And what's particularly crazy about this is, Lamine Yamal hadn't even hit the heights we'd seen at the time back then, but Barca still said no. Even in the middle of the financial crisis they seemed to be in at the time, most clubs would have jumped at the offer. 200 million euros plus, that easily solves a lot of the debt issues of the club. They wouldn't have had to activate levers or even rename the Nou Camp. But the club said no and stood on business too. And that's because, as we just pointed out, Lamine Yamal's future at Barcelona was something they'd somehow already seen. You know, come to think of it, it's crazy how everyone always sees this as Messi blessing Lamine Yamal with superpowers or something. But what if it's the other way around? What if it's Lamine Yamal that was so good that Messi tapped into his powers even when he was still a kid? Jokes aside though, his rise from La Masia's ranks already gave the club an idea of just how talented he was. At La Masia it was clear. They'd pushed him up from the Juvenile B to the Juvenile A team, and weeks before he made his debut against Real Betis. But then Barcelona coach Xavi already had him training with the first team, and even gave an impression soon after. Add all of this up, and now it's easy to see why Barcelona rejected that mega bid for Lamine Yamal. He was the future and they knew it. That future is now, and to anyone who doesn't support or agree with this, Lamine Yamal makes it pretty clear. Again, think about it. Lamine Yamal at this age is better than the best of the previous generation. Except the difference is his attitude. He'll destroy anyone. At just 17, he's collecting more bodies than the Grim Reaper. Jude Bellingham and Sergio Ramos were the latest in line after both had liked a comment that Alessandro Bastoni posted after knocking Yamal and Barcelona out of the Champions League. That was his response. Like this one too. But that's just one out of the many he's collected in just 2 years, because he's even doing it to entire clubs as well.
Porque bueno, mientras gane, no me pueden decir nada.
The context behind this? News came out that Yamal had spoken to his teammate Ronald Araujo about Real Madrid, and what he told him was clear. Even if they went, his response was clear in that earlier clip. They could only talk to him when they won, which they hadn't yet. And for added measure, the last time they met? Seriously, the balls on this guy. Freaking insane. But the biggest one has to be what he did to Adrien Rabiot at the Euros last summer. The context? Rabiot just before the semi-finals said this.
We want him to come out of his comfort zone, and that if you want to be able to play a Euro final...
Openly called out Lamine Yamal and said he was going to face a much harder test with the French team. And all it took, Lamine Yamal, was 20 minutes to end this one. The goal, the celebration, and right after, Rabiot knew. And then the one that goes under the radar. The other one, the one that's changed football.
Mbappé or Haaland. Tough, very tough. I know.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Oof.
For years after Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo dominated the football scene, everyone believed the next rivalry in the game was going to be Kylian Mbappe versus Erling Haaland, with good reason too. But ever since Lamine Yamal arrived, 2 years on, that debate has changed. It's gone from debating who could win the Ballon d'Or first between Mbappe and Haaland, to Lamine Yamal emerging as a strong contender for football's biggest award this year. He's 17. Then you keep the light a bit on the Mbappe situation, and Lamine Yamal has been cold with that too. From the Euros to date, Lamine Yamal has knocked out a team Kylian Mbappe has played in 3 different competitions. This includes the Euros, the Spanish Super Cup, and the Copa del Rey. Add both El Clasicos this season, and ever since he came to Real Madrid, in the 4 meetings they've had, Kylian Mbappe has always lost to Lamine Yamal's Barcelona. He's different, he knows it, and so did Barcelona too. Is he arrogant? Well, you might be tempted to think that, but even in Barcelona, everyone understands that's the makeup with Lamine Yamal. It's like football decided to spawn Messi's skills and Neymar's dribbling, with Zlatan Ibrahimovic's ego all in one body. The kid backs up his talk with his actions on the field too. This season, he's gone from record to record with this Barcelona team. Youngest player to score and assist in a Champions League game after scoring versus Benfica. The youngest Dortmund, the youngest player to score in a Champions League semi-final versus Inter Milan. He did all of this season at 17 years old. Career mode. That's the tweet. Lamine Yamal is living to fast-track talents into the first team in search of the next Lamine Yamal. And for La Masia, he's the crown jewel of a system that has worked again and again and again. You know he's that good when even the opposition manager is talking about him.
Yamal, che chiaramente è un talento che nascono ogni 50 anni, dei talenti così non l'avevo mai visto dal vero, l'ho visto stasera per la prima volta e ci ha creato problemi, l'abbiamo raddoppiato, triplicato, poi ci mancavano giocatori da altre parti del campo, poi il secondo tempo abbiamo...
Simone Inzaghi here refers to Yamal as a type of player that only comes out once every 50 years. That's the manager of an Inter side that had to triple down just to mark him.
No, Lamine the Dream was an absolute sensation tonight. I mean, 17 years old, he's just remarkable what he's doing at that age. His decision making is great, touch technique, pace, he's got absolutely.
From pundits to managers, players and teammates, it's all been the same thing. Lamine Yamal is the future of football. As good as he is though, Lamine Yamal alone, because this season he's got a helping hand from a guy who probably doesn't even realize it. Click the next video to find out how Vinicius Jr. is helping Rafinha win the Ballon d'Or.